Yo Bodgers, welcome to the Shogun. Yes, I'm wearing a funny hat. It's a blues hat, but I've been told I look a bit like a pikey. So, you know, Brad Pitt in the, was it Lock, Stock? I think it was Lock, Stock. Yeah, I like it anyway, looks alright. Anyway, updates on the Shogun. As you'll see in a minute, the engine has been repaired, because it was running like a bag of nails, literally a bag of nails. And it ended up being fairly simple things, but, you know, fun. As you can see, the interior no longer has any carpets. I ripped them all out because we had a fair old leak from the sunroof up here. I know this thing's wedged in there, but basically the motors weren't even in there, so I want to take them out. As you can see, no motor. So I've had to tape it all up with some special tape, and it has worked fine. So yeah, like I did come into it, and it was yay full of water. So that has fixed the problem. We've had some pretty bad rain recently, so that's kind of good news. I've had all the speedo out and all the dash, all this kind of stuff to try and get the fuel gauge to work, and it turns out the fuel gauge doesn't work because, as you might have remembered in the other video, I explained it's got a small little sub-tank. AI, good old AI, told me that the sub-tank feeds the main tank via a transfer pump, yada yada yada. Turns out it was wrong. The main tank under the boot actually is an LPG, and there's an LPG in the boot as well, so it's a dual range LPG tank. And the sub-tank has been fitted solely to run the car on before it switches over. So I'm getting a man to come out and service the LPG. That can still be done. 160 quid, not bad. And I'm going to remove the one under the boot floor and replace it with a normal fuel tank, which I've managed to obtain. And it took a long time to get one because they're obviously quite a rare car now, from Mitzi Bits. Thank you to those guys. It wasn't cheap, but it will be worth it so we can run the thing on petrol again. We've also got slide pins to do on the back because they're sticking. Fix the handbrake, doesn't do shit. As you can see, the handbrake just goes into space and still doesn't do shit. So yeah, we're gonna fix that. And then like a service, do all the diffs, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you know, this thing will be drivable then. We'll do some actual driving videos. Badass. Test drive is very, very noisy on the tyres it's on. Or it's the diff buggered, who knows? We're going to find out when I change the tyres because they are a bit crusty and old. And one vaguely legal. Yeah, otherwise we'll have a look at what the engine sounds like. A couple of updates on the old truck. I nearly set fire to it by messing around with the headlights, and I've managed to fix it. So I was forced to fit a special wiring kit. It's almost like a spotlight wiring kit, and it has resolved the fire-ish issues with the headlights. Basically, one of the wires had come out and the old connectors were melted, so they're now ceramics. Nice and easy. So Bodgers, if you can hear me over the racket of the engine, this thing ran like a bag of spanners, literally like a piston was down, and I managed to figure out mostly it needed bleeding. So we've changed a few other parts, like temperature sensor, all this kind of stuff, and it does sound more like it's supposed to. I've manually disabled the LPG for now and getting a man to come out and service that to make sure everything's all good. And I figured out that the small tank, it turns out that somebody has put a dual LPG setup on this thing, so it's got one underneath the boot and one in the boot as well, which means it only runs off about a 50 mile range of petrol, which is that tiny little tank. I think it's like 15 litres, something like that. So yeah, not ideal in the long term, but yeah, we're getting there. It's running and it drives. I did test drive it. It was terrible, but it does run a lot better this time around, so we'll just have to keep an eye on things.